Excellent. Woo! Woo! So now I'm gonna go and send some tweets and stuff, and if you want to go send some tweets and stuff, there we go. So what have you been up to today?
Today I've been at work, sadly, my boring day job.
What is that? What do you do?
I work at a model company called Brooklyn Models. We make scale model replicas of old cars like Buicks and Pontiacs and stuff like that.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yes, it's better than the average office job, I guess, but not quite prop making all day like I'd like to be doing.
Well, it's making, isn't it?
Yes. Oh God, yeah, definitely. It's, if I'm doing anything, it needs to be with my hands, creative, doing stuff. I couldn't sit there typing on the computer all day.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right.
You've got your concentration face on.
Yeah, no, the link wasn't working. Yeah, I make silly faces in front of the internet. So there we go. There's a Facebook one, and let's send one out to Twitter.
That's what I'm trying to do. It's not doing anything. Oh, here we go.
What's your Twitter handle? LS_props, yeah?
Yes.
Excellent.
Now, Sorenzo Props mentioned you in a post.
I did.
Excellent work.
There we go. So it's good to actually finally get to talk.
Yes.
I know we've been talking for quite a while.
Well, talking.
Via Facebook and stuff.
It's not quite the same.
Well, no, but we can get to know each other a little bit better now. And I think we might as well get going because there's 2 viewers in, which means my mum's here, so we can start the show.
Well, my mum can't use the internet, so.
Oh, dear. Well, you can show her on YouTube sometime.
Okay.
So, yeah, what we're going to do. Yeah, so welcome to the Sorenzo Props show, the show where I sort of talk rubbish about props and cosplay and stuff for an hour or so every week or two. This week we're trying something brand new. We've got live via the interweb Martyn from Landstalker Props, all the way down in Bath in England, Somerset. So Martyn is, so far he's here. I hope you can all see and hear him. I know I can. And we're just going to talk some rubbish for a while and see what happens. If you are watching live, thanks for joining. You can ask us some questions either on the Facebook page or you can use the Q&A app, which is somewhere around here, and we'll be able to see those questions and we can answer them. So any sort of prop making related questions would be most relevant. You don't cosplay, Martyn, do you?
I have once. I want to again. It's just finding the time.
All right, excellent. Well, if you have any cosplay questions, ask us anyway. And if you are not watching live, if you're watching this on YouTube, there will be a whole heap of links down in the bottom where we will detail all the stuff that we talk about, whether it's products or materials or other people. So there's loads of links there, so you don't have to go looking for those yourself. So we're going to jump right in. We'll just sort of catch up with what's been happening for the last week. Well, what's been happening in your world, Martyn? Anything exciting?
I've just started a new build. I am making the Gale Boomerang from Zelda, I think. Yes, Zelda. It is from Zelda. Yes.
Excellent.
I haven't got very far with it so far.
I did see a post of that. I saw a boomerang shaped something or other a while ago.
It's a very, very basic shaped MDF and EVA sandwich so far.
There we go. Let's see if we can screen share for a second. There we go. So the boomerang shaped something or other. Excellent.
Probably not one of my best props for you to show first off, I guess.
Well, it's the start. They've got to start somewhere, haven't they?
Yes,
they've got to start somewhere. So we'll just do a wee catch up of what's been happening in Sorenzo Props land, which is not a lot actually. So today was a very special day. Do you know what day it was today?
It's your birthday?
Well, not my birthday, but it was Sorenzo Props' birthday, which is kind of funny that I started my business on April Fool's Day, which was quite intentional, to be perfectly honest. I deliberately wanted to go into the bank and set everything official on April Fool's Day, and I still think it's the silliest thing I've ever done. But yeah, April Fool's Day, there was a couple of pranks going around. Any good pranks?
I've just basically stayed off of Facebook because I can't trust anything that's been on there today. So
Yeah, I didn't let anybody make me a cup of coffee. I had to get people to repeat what they were saying 2 or 3 times before I actually acknowledged it, just in case they were trying to trick me. But yeah, I had a little go at what do you call it? April Fools. Oh, what am I doing? I hope I didn't cut that off. Let me see. Let's share this. Yeah, so I launched my website, which I've been building for the last 3 years. Did you happen to see this?
I did see it, and my first reaction was, "Oh my God, what's he done?"
Oh, yeah.
And then I realised there were giant penises under your name at the top.
There are giant penises under my name. Did you hear the music?
No, it was on my phone at work, so I didn't get to hear the music.
People on the phone. Well, we rickrolled it just for the hell of it. So yeah, it's pretty much the most horrible website I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Full of dinosaurs, kittens, and penises.
Penises.
Yeah, I was quite happy with penises. There's some really good gifts there.
Didn't see those.
Yeah, so that's it. Oh no, it's still playing. Stop! Stop! There we go. Getting too confusing here. Yeah, so that was my attempt at an April Fool's today, which was quite funny because my mum messaged me on my Facebook page saying, "Oh, very proud of you. Looking forward to the next 3 years." And I was like, "What do you think of the website?" She said, "Yeah, it's amazing, just like you." So I don't think she actually paid attention to what the website was, or else she has no idea what a good website is. So moving on, what's else been happening? I've been working on Daft Punk molds. I've been doing some live streams showing you the different steps for making a matrix mold. I've not forgotten about it. I am going to finish that later on in the week. So at the moment, there is a Guy Manuel shaped helmet master covered in gloss paint that is curing. And I'm just going to let it cure enough that I can actually buff it and not make a mess of it like I've done a few other times before. So yeah, I'll be doing another Hangout pretty soon. But enough about me. Let's get on to Martyn and Landstalker Props. So I suppose the first question is, how did you go about getting into this? Where did Landstalker Props come from?
That was my friend Laura, who she wanted to go dressed as Shell from Portal, and she said she didn't have the chops to make the Portal gun, so I offered. And then through searching online, I quickly found the Vulcan Props one, which is amazing. And I basically used that as a step-by-step guide and copied it and built the first prop gun, and it turned out so well that I kind of thought I'd like to do more of this. So I did.
Excellent. How long ago was that?
That was coming up to 2 years ago. Well, no, that prop was probably 3 years ago. But I started Landstalker Props kind of seriously about 2 years ago.
Okie dokie. Where did the name come from?
It's an old Mega Drive game called Landstalker. It's an isometric RPG game, one of my favourite games ever. It's my PSN name ID, and it's my online ID for most things. We've got to put like a username in, so I use that. So it just kind of seemed the right thing to do.
Excellent. Yeah, it kind of makes sense when you've got all your logins. Too many usernames to remember, eh?
Yes.
Excellent. So you've been doing the props for about 2 years, but you mentioned earlier on that you actually work as a model maker, yeah?
I do, yes. Model assembly more than making, yes. It's Brooklyn Models in Bath. We make 1/43rd scale replicas of old Buicks, Pontiacs, some British cars. They're collector's pieces. They're sort of anywhere between £79 and £90 each. All handmade, hand built, cast in white metal.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my day-to-day breadwinning job.
Excellent. So what do you do with regards to the finishing of them?
We get the painted bodies as a shell out, and then my job is to stick on all the chrome trim, the headlights, all the bright work, the bumpers, and then assemble and put the seats in, and then bag them up ready to go out.
Excellent. And are they made sort of like kits that they just sort of...
We put
them, or is it a little bit more complicated than that?
They do require a bit of work. We've got to kind of tweak all the bits and pieces to get them to fit. Obviously, with the pieces being cast from white metal, it's not an exact science, and when the molds heat up or contract, not a problem you get so much with casting resin, but with hot metal going into them, the mold expands, then all the pieces start to grow in size.
Right.
Bodies can get a couple of mil longer and nothing fits, so you've got to tweak everything to get it to go together.
Ah, sounds like a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes, just a lot like prop making, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
There's always a pain in the ass somewhere, isn't there?
Yes.
Excellent. That's really interesting. Yeah, because I did a course in model making after studying architecture, and I kind of thought that there was only one sort of form of model making, and that was making tiny buildings.
Yeah.
And it was through that I realized, well, there's all sorts of cool things that you can be making, like tiny cars, which is awesome. So you enjoy it? How long have you been doing that?
15 years. Yeah, long time. Ideally, I would like to get out of it and do prop making full time. So just keep my options open with that at the moment.
That is a dream. Take Landstalker Props to your full-time job, yeah?
Yes, but unfortunately, being married and having a daughter, the mortgage to pay, is kind of a big step to do that. So
It is. It's a big commitment. Even without that, it's a big commitment.
yes.
I should have told Tom Wall 3 years ago not to do it, but he would never listen because he's an idiot. So here we are. So you've done. I was flicking through your Facebook page. I have been keeping tabs on it for the last wee while, but let's talk about your most recent finished commission, because I was quite impressed with that one.
The grenade.
Yeah. So go ahead and talk us through that one. I might see if I can find a picture of it.
Okay. The Order 1886, the game on the PlayStation 4, was it's an amazing looking game, and I wanted to make some weapons from it. So I drew some blueprints up, put them on my page, and one of the guys from Ready at Dawn, one of the main producers of the game, spotted the blueprints and said he wanted to talk to me. I had a Skype call with him a little over a year ago now, and he commissioned me to make the grenade. They were very specific that they wanted authentic materials, so no resins, no plastics, nothing like that. They wanted authentic weight and feel and touch and everything. So bit of a challenge, as you can see, it's quite complicated.
Yep, I was amazed at this. I was studying it when you first launched and trying to figure out how you did everything. But no, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it came out. Actually, I didn't expect it to kind of look as good as it did, and when it was sort of finished, I kind of took a step back and went, my God, that's actually pretty cool.
It's amazing. So, do you want to talk us through the build quickly?
Yeah,
I'm not giving away all your secrets, but if you want to just give us a rough.
I have no secret. Everything I know, I've stolen from every other prop maker online, so it's fine.
Like all of us.
Yes, exactly. I laved up a wooden handle. Yeah. The top grenade part is actually made in sections, which are cast at work out of white metal, and then they are soldered on the inside to join them all together into one block.
That was my main. I was thinking, how could you machine that? That's quite interesting.
Yes.
I was standing in front of my lathe, sort of thinking, nah, maybe, I don't know.
It is hollow.
So it's hollow. Right?
Yeah, it's still really heavy.
That makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, yes. Brilliant.
The rest of it, I had to cut sheets of brass and lay them up and then layer them together to make the big section in the middle. The blade and all the other metal parts are mild steel, so I had to cut those and forge them and bend them and tweak them into shape. I've got some authentic style rivets holding the hinge pieces together. And yeah, that was it. The only thing that's kind of not authentic really is a stainless steel spring, which I didn't really fancy making a spring. I wanted it to last. So yeah.
Excellent. It's quite interesting how you got that commission. So you just drew a blueprint of it and put it up.
Yep, I did spam the shit out of it everywhere. So it's
there we go. So were you tagging? What were they called?
Ready at Dawn.
Ready at Dawn. Yeah. I was looking at some other stuff recently. So you were spamming them, tagging them, and everything. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Interesting. That's not something I've tried. Not excessive. I've tagged people occasionally, but not like constant. Look at me.
No, shout it out basically. I mean,
It worked.
yeah.
No, that's what I'm thinking. It works, so I might have to give that a go. Just start harassing people.
Just
Excellent.
basically do a search on Twitter for any kind of nerdy, geeky website names and tweet handles, and just send them a link to what you've been up to. I spent an evening just kind of sent shit out everywhere. Anything that had anything slightly to do with geekiness or nerdiness, I sent them a picture of what I've been up to.
Excellent. Excellent. No, I've been doing a lot more work on Twitter recently. I realised that I've been underusing it, so I'm putting a lot more focus on it. There's lots of tips and tricks that I'm learning along the way, and that is one of them as well. Start connecting with people. There's no point in having 10 million followers unless they actually talk to you and do stuff, you know. So
yep,
that makes a lot of sense. So I might harass you later for some good geeky Twitter feeds to look at.
Okay.
Excellent. So you've been doing props for about 2 years now.
Yep.
How many pieces do you think you've made in total?
10, 12, I think. Some big ones, some small ones.
So about 10 or 12. What's been the most challenging? Or have you had?
Probably the grenade.
Yeah. Just because it was.
Yeah, and when you're building out of MDF. Sorry, go ahead.
Was it because it's a paid commission, or because it was kind of new processes that you hadn't used before? The fact that you were using all natural materials.
Yeah, the when you kind of doing stuff out of MDF and plastics and that, you can fake bits, join bits together, hide a lot with filler, and sort of make an inorganic shape out of lots of square blocks, and it's quite, you can piece it together and hide it and paint it and mask it. But with the metal on the wood, there was nowhere to hide anything. It had to be kind of made properly, and not having a huge machine shop with massive lathes and stuff. It was a challenge to try and get all those big parts broken down into smaller parts that I could still join together to then look like they were all one piece.
Excellent, excellent. Well, what's been the most fun build?
They're all a pain in the bum when you start, aren't they?
We have to try and give out the illusion that it actually is good fun and we enjoy it, and not just standing swearing, going, "Why won't you work?"
Yeah, do a lot of that. Yeah, they're all kind of fun. I mean, I like every finished prop for different reasons. So it's the same as when you take on a prop, you kind of pick something that you want to do. That's going to be challenging. It's going to be interesting. So you kind of have a vested interest right from the start in being finding it interesting, finding it fun. So they're all good.
Yeah. I think that's I've always sort of selected commissions that I wanted to do because either I really wanted to do it because I'm a fan of the prop, or because I really like the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
I never want to do something just for the sake of getting a paycheck or to keep someone happy. I want to make sure that I can actually, like you said, get invested in it and be excited and be passionate, because you're always going to hit that wall at some point where you're kind of like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. I don't want to finish it. It looks terrible. I hate it.
Don't say that.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be professionals.
No, I hate them all the time. No, but that's the beauty of being able to walk away from something and work on something else. I will never work on one project entirely for my time. I'll always make sure that I have something that I can just step away, something that's close to finishing, or just do something fun, make something in a day, which I've been doing a lot more of.
I'm the complete opposite. I like to just focus and get one thing kind of done and finished and built, and then I can concentrate completely on the next one. If I was flipping and flopping between two, I think I'd probably lose my focus a little bit on that. So.
Really, yeah. Not that I don't lose focus, but I much prefer to be making progress somewhere than just standing still. So if you do hit a big wall or you do hit a big problem or a delay, you have something else to jump onto.
Okay.
That's how I like to work, but not to say that I'm always 100% efficient. Many a time I'll stand looking at 3 or 4 unfinished projects, going meh, but we always get it done. There's always like shelves to be put up, or floors to be swept. There's always something to be done.
Or PlayStation games to be played.
Oh no, we've been talking about this in the workshop. So we need some more relaxation time, because we work so hard and stuff. Because I share a workshop with a group of other folk who are a lot of fun. But I went home to my parents' house recently, and I pulled out all my old gaming consoles. So I've got like N64, I've got SNES, I think I've got a Game Gear there as well. And we've been contemplating setting up like a little sort of gaming station in the workshop, and we're like, will any work be done? Like, how often will we just like say, tools down, let's go over and play Mario Kart? But you know,
I have a retro station in my spare room. It's an old, quite a big TV cabinet, and I've got the NES, SNES, GameCube, PS2. I had a Saturn up there, that's back in the loft, and everything's just plugged in, ready to go. Everything's got its own socket already in. I've just got to swap the aerial cables over.
amazing.
So if you had that and it was super quick to play, then you wouldn't work a lot, no.
Oh dear. Yeah, I miss the old games. I do have a PlayStation 3, and I go through spats of gaming for a while, but it takes up so much time. You have to invest a couple of hours in it, you know. But I think with something like Mario Kart, you can plug it in and play for 15 minutes, do a lap or two, and then just turn it off and get on with your day. But yeah, we might see whether we can have some sort of project, creating a nice little neat compact gaming station that we can hide from the landlords, and they won't like that. But excellent. I had another question that's not on my list of questions, but I forgot it. So we'll just go on to the next one, which I get asked all the time. I'm sure you've been asked this as well. And just a reminder, anybody who is watching live, feel free to ask us some questions. If you've got anything about either of us or about props in general, so feel free to ask that. I've seen a couple have popped in, so we'll get to them later. But question I want to ask you, your dream build. So this is the project that if time, money, you had no limitations, what would you want to build?
Well, a sex robot, obviously.
Please elaborate.
Oh, you mean apart from a sex robot, right? Okay.
I mean prop related.
Oh god, I wasn't prepared for that. Probably.
I change my mind every week, so don't worry about it.
Aliens power loader.
Oh, that is really good, actually.
Maybe not full size, but kind of somewhere in between. So it's still quite big and bulky and impressive. But I think a full size one would be a bit over the top. But yeah, somewhere in between, like a half size one would be quite cool.
Well, I want to build a full one, like working pistons and everything.
Oh no, I want the working claws and everything, and
yeah,
the light on the top and stuff.
Pneumatics and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be
Maybe not pneumatics, probably servo driven or something. But yeah, that would be good.
No, go pneumatics.
That's way too complicated.
Scrap heat challenges and get it done.
Oh god, no.
I've not watched that movie in so long. I have to give it a look soon. That's brilliant.
One of the prop I did want to do, I was hoping to do it for Eurogamer a couple of years ago, was Wheatley from Portal 2. The idea was to get like a full-on puppet with the eye opening and closing and stuff, wear an all-in-one black suit with everything covered up, and kind of have a microphone with a speaker in Wheatley, so it looked like he was talking, so I could do that. People have told me I sound like Wheatley, so.
All right, I've not played Portal.
Okay.
Pretty sure somebody has done that somewhere along. I think so. Maybe
yeah, there's been a couple.
There's been a couple, yeah. But you want to do your own version, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Who cares if someone else has done it? You want
if I'm honest, it's just an excuse just to wear a really tight all-in-one unitard suit thing.
That's what it's all about, really. Cosplay is all about this.
And sex robots.
Excellent. We've got some questions coming in, so I might as well jump to those and we'll get them answered. So the first one is from Sophia Anderson. Let me see what this is. Is Sophia a friend of yours?
No.
Nope.
Oh, I'm aware of. She might be a follower on Facebook.
What project that you have at home? This is making sense. What project do you have at home that you're proud of, that you can show to all your friends and family? Something along those lines. What project that you have at home, show of proud of to your? I think there's some typos in there. Let's see what we mean. What projects do you have? Are you proud of, and that your friends and family like as well? Let's say that.
Okay. Right to hand, just. I promise I haven't left it there just to grab. It's just been there since I bought it everywhere. It's the steampunk sniper rifle that I built a little while ago.
Get it out. We got it there?
Oh, you mean the sniper rifle? Yeah, okay. Can you get it all in?
That's brilliant.
Just about.
So was this the build that you based on a Nerf gun? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The central part here is the Nerf Maverick. Alright. And the idea was to convert it to another, well, just convert it to do something to it. So I decided to go all out and do the sniper rifle.
That's brilliant.
There's liquid kind of fuel cells there with lights in, but the batteries have failed, so sorry about that. But yeah, that's the only thing I've got to hand. Most of my props, unfortunately, I make for commission, so they're gone.
Yeah.
Don't get to keep them.
No, I just realized this because this is my first time doing the show from at home, but I don't actually have anything of my stuff here, I don't believe. Oh, I've got this. I need to talk because if you talk, then the camera goes away. So that's from the 13th Warrior. So I just wanted to sculpt something really quick. So it's the Mother of Wendell idol. So it's basically just butt and boobs.
Sex robot.
Yeah, but I've actually got a movie prop piece here that I don't think anybody's seen. But I won this.
Ooh.
Yeah, I won this in a competition, Twitter competition from the prop store, and they gave me like $150 or something like that, $200. So this is a genuine screen-used villager axe from the 13th Warrior, which I'm quite proud of. It's a little bit damaged. There's a split in it right there, but I don't really care because it still looks freaking awesome. But
Nice.
that's the only prop piece that I own that is not my own work. So I'm quite happy with it. So that's why I've got the Mother of Wendell idol here as well, because I'm going to make a little display here. But no, I've not got nothing here to show. All my stuff is at my workshop. I keep like a display if clients, come to visit for corporate meetings and stuff. So I've got like these 2 glass cabinets with all my stuff in it. It's quite cool as well, lit and everything. But excellent. Yeah, that sniper rifle. I noticed that a while ago. I've been meaning to do something like that. Do some sort of steampunky stuff. Have you done a lot of steampunk?
No, this was my first foray into it. I can't remember how I found the Facebook group actually, but I had to do just like a huge evening of just looking at steampunk stuff to get a feel for the look. It's a definite feel for it. And it's not just sticking cogs on everything.
Well, some people think it is.
Yeah, the build went well. It was kind of starting to look tactical rather than steampunk. Right. So I had to throw a lot of copper and brassy bits at it to kind of bring it back towards that steampunk thing. But I'm actually tempted now to strip all those parts off and take it back to tactical again. Maybe make it really matte black and put a laser sight on it or something.
Excellent. Why not? Why not?
No time. That's why not.
Oh, I suppose. So that's the question I was going to ask you earlier on. Where do you make your props?
In my shed.
Tell us about your shed. Tell us about your man cave.
My man, you don't want to know about my man cave. My shed is the space I've got at the end of it to work is about 5.5 feet by 6 feet, and it's a shithole. It's damp, it's cold, all my tools go rusty, MDF gets this kind of green mold growing on it. It's really, really bad. And I'm glad you've asked me this question now, because I've recently had some money back from the bank, from my PPI payment thingies.
Wow, did you actually answer that phone call and get some money back?
They rang me, my bank actually rang me, said, we think we owe you money. So I said, well, okay, go for it then. And sure enough, they paid up. Yeah, I had just under £1,500 come back. So.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to be building a brand new workshop at the bottom of my garden, probably around 16 by 14 feet. What?
Build a lot of props in there.
Yes, yeah. So at the moment, I'm kind of struggling for space. If I get my drill out to do anything, once I finish with it, I've got to put it back in the box and put it back under the bench because I've got no space to leave it out on the bench to do stuff with. So I just want space. I want to be able to leave stuff out. I want a dedicated lathe station, a dedicated scroll saw station. I want to be able to just work without having to make extra work by just shifting things around all the time. It's a problem. So at the moment, I'm working in horrible conditions, but hopefully in the next couple of months I will have a dedicated workshop at the bottom of my garden.
Excellent, excellent. So what tools and equipment do you currently work with?
Hand tools, unfortunately. I've got a scroll saw, which has been really handy for cutting stuff out. Lathe, which I've used a couple of times. I did the handle for the grenade on that. Other than that, it's
a
all
hobby-size hand lathe, yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing major. Other than that, it's hand tools. So we did discuss about a laser cutter the other day, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, I want a laser cutter. It's one of these things because, like, the beauty of me having a shared workshop is that if new tools and equipment come in, I get the opportunity to use them, which is great. But I'm pretty sure I spent like 3 years going, oh, it'd be awesome to have a 3D printer. I'd love one. And then we got one in, and I'm like, meh. Yeah, I just printed off a few. I think we printed a penis, and I printed some glow in the dark Dunnies for my bike to go in the valves for the tire, and I printed half an orb from Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's about it. Now I'm kind of bored of it.
Did you call them Dunnies?
Dunnies, you know the monies you can get, the little characters, the little vinyl toys.
Nope.
They're kind of like the pop toys. Yeah, I didn't know either, but they're just these little blank bunnies that apparently you can draw or paint yourself, and they're called Dunnies, or maybe I got that completely wrong, I don't know. But yeah, you just get these little vinyl toys and you can print them. So it's just a little bunny rabbit shape that we reduced down, printed with a hole in the bottom, and I just stuck it on the top of my bicycle valve, and they're glow in the dark. So I've got these little bunnies that spin around glowing in the dark. So that's me making good use of my 3D printer. But I do think a laser cutter would get far much more use.
Yes.
Particularly because you can cut so many things, including EVA foam, which is amazing. Yep, you can cut EVA foam in it apparently. I would imagine that the toxins it gives off is incredible, so you need to make sure you have something bigger than a hobby-sized one, that you've got an external extractor and stuff like that. But apparently, yeah, you can laser cut it, which is quite interesting. So I'll be well excited to do that. But maybe in the future. Would you be looking at just getting a hobby-sized one just for doing little bits and pieces?
Define hobby size.
A4?
Yeah, there's I can't remember the name of the brand. It's like a creamy colour and red thing, and it's like about £1,200, £1,500.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, so is that are they A4 ones?
I think so. I think the hobby size, the sheet, the bed size is always about maybe a third of the size of the actual machine.
Yeah.
It's always like there's quite a jump up. There's so much technology ramming under the hood. But yeah, I think
lasers.
About lasers and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I think around A4 or maybe the nearest inch sort of thing. A lot of them seem to be imperial these days. But yeah, you start jumping up, and I think hobby size is quite affordable, like about £1,200, maybe £2 or £3 grand for a decent one. But then you move up, and it instantly starts going into 10, 12, 15, 25 grand, and you're just like, nope, no time for that. And the size of them as well, it take up like half a room, which is quite crazy. But maybe in the future. I've done without one, which is great. I've got access to one that I can sort of pay to use, but I've not actually had the use. I've always sort of found a way around it, so maybe I don't need one.
Okay.
Who knows?
You have a CNC machine though, don't you?
We currently have four now. Yeah, all different sizes, which is great. I still don't know how to use them. It's like it's a completely different language, completely different operation. Like with a laser cutter, you kind of like drop in your file, select your laser strength, and you press go, and it cuts it out. And if you muck up, you like mess up your sheet of acrylic, and that's about it. With a CNC machine, there's so many calculations involved. You have to know so much information. And if you mess it up, you could potentially break the machine. And like one of them's worth about £65,000. So you don't really want to do that. But thankfully, there's a couple of guys in the workshop that are really good. So I tend to work alongside with them, and they do most of the setup and make sure everything's all good. I always try and do a bit of it myself, just so I have an idea of what I'm doing and try and learn it little by little. But we have got a little a tabletop router CNC. So it's about the size of a dinner table sort of thing. and it's just a little spinning router. And I use that for cutting out visors and stuff, and it uses the same language. But the great thing is, if I break it, it's not going to be the end of the world to replace the parts or something like that. Everything is sort of off-the-shelf components that can be easily replaced. So I was mucking around with that a lot last year, which is good fun.
Cool. How did you do the helmets then? Because didn't you CNC those?
Yep, I've done one so far, and I will be starting on 2 new helmets, hopefully this month. So I had the helmet 3D designed. There's a guy in the US called Jacob Moran who does a lot of great 3D CAD stuff. He's done a lot of stuff for people in the RPF. So he did the CAD file. It was custom designed to the client's head, which is quite unique. So it fitted him absolutely perfectly, which is brilliant. And then the 3D file was sort of brought into various programs, and from that you produce a code. And there was 3 different cut patterns. So we cut it on one side, so we cut one side, the other side, and then we cut the front. And we left the back because the back just bland, so I just cut that away by hand. And it left an absolutely amazing finish. It was the Red Hood helmet, so getting that completely symmetrical would have been a near impossible doing it by hand and eye. So it was really great to use that technology. But of course, then there's still a good 100 hours of finishing and prepping it, getting it ready for molding, which is the fun part, and quite takes a little bit of skill as well. So I'm looking forward to doing a couple of new helmets on that now.
Are you going to tell everyone what that is? I know what it is. Are you revealing?
Yeah, I think I kind of hinted at it. So I'm going to be making the helmet from a new Rooster Teeth movie called Lazer Team.
Woo!
Looks like a very, very fun movie. I showed you the trailer, didn't I?
Yes.
It looked really, really fun, and lots of cosplay and prop potentials. Well, actually, there's 4.
I was thinking this. You'll have your helmet.
Yeah.
I was thinking I could do either the laser or the big gauntlet. We need to get suits printed. Me, you, 2 other cosplayers.
That's what I was thinking. Well,
Lazer Team.
I was thinking while I was making the helmet, I'd probably be making the other bits as well, just to fight the boredom. But yeah, definitely, it's got some great cosplay potential, and there's spandex as well. Have you seen the costumes? It's all like
yes! Not with this belly.
I knew you'd like that. But I'm really excited about that one. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that straight away. And then I'm planning on doing what's called the Magneto helmet from Days of Future Past.
Yep.
So I had the CAD for that last year, but I've just not had the time to, because it's a sort of it's not a commission, it's kind of a personal one. But I'm hoping to get that started. We want to sort of test out new materials for the CNC machine. We got a new company who came around offering us tooling boards. We want to try out their tooling board on a project that's not like time critical. So yeah, going to be getting going on that, which is exciting.
Excellent.
So we've had a couple of questions jump in, so I will go ahead and get those. So Malcolm has tuned in. Malcolm has tuned in before, so hi again, Malcolm. And his question is, any tips for making a full helmet cooler? LSCC nearly caused my head to melt. So cooler as in temperature-wise, not as in make it more badass.
Got to be a fan, hasn't it?
So, what's that?
Got to be a fan.
Yeah, fan. Malcolm did. Was it Doctor Doom cosplay? I believe it was. So it was all foam. I didn't get a chance to see him that weekend. But yeah, fans is one option. Ventilation holes is another. But it depends on the costume. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that you can use.
Liquid coolant.
Well, you could get some of those like cool packs, I suppose. I don't know, like in balaclava or something like that. Because I tend to, if I'm wearing a helmet, I tend to wear a balaclava just to keep like the hair and the face and the beard intact. Having your mouth, especially if there's a visor, having your mouth covered over can reduce the chance of condensation. I found because you're in there heavy breathing, just end up steaming the whole thing up. So when I was wearing my Daft Punk helmets last month at LSCC, if I had my mouth out, the visor would steam up. But if I covered it up with the balaclava, the visor would stay relatively steam-free. So yeah, that's all I can really think of, is try and get some fans in there, making it a little bit bigger so there's more air in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to go paintballing, and the visors would steam up in that, so I invested in one with a tiny little fan at the top. It wasn't very big, it was like about an inch across, but it was just enough airflow to keep the air moving, and it stopped the steaming problem completely and kept your face cool.
Yep, you can get little fans for about a fiver, I think, depending where you go. You need to get like a 5-volt one, so it'll run off a 6-volt battery. You can get 12-volt ones, but then powering them is a nightmare. So it's trying to find one with a low enough voltage, and then you can just simply wire them up to like a square battery, and they should run for a good couple of hours. So you can get an on-off switch in there as well. But yeah, ventilation holes. Make it a little bit bigger so there's more air in there. Try and get a fan or two, drawing some air in or sucking some air out. And failing that, what we say, ice packs on your head in the balaclava. But yeah, hope that answers your question, Malcolm. Cheers. You've not made any helmets or anything, have you?
No, not yet. I've got some EVA foam for the boomerang I'm making, so at some point I will be using my daughter as a guinea pig and making a helmet for her.
Excellent.
I mean, there's some great tutorials online. I know that Evil Ted has done some really good ones, and Bill Doran too. So I've got all the stuff here. I bought some contact cement, so I'm gonna have to give it a go.
What contact cement did you buy out of interest?
The impact stuff. I saw on one of your shows on YouTube. You recommended it as well.
Yep. I'm looking to get some new stuff because all the guys are raging about barge in the States, but it's possible to get here without paying huge import taxes.
Okay, I did see that one actually. Yeah, you're saying it was like £15 for a small pouch of it or something.
It costs more to import it than it does to buy it, and then once it's shipped to you, you've paid for the pleasure of shipping. You'll get a letter from the post office saying you owe them another 15-20 quid for them bringing it into the country, which is ridiculous. But I did come across a new one which I've not sourced yet, but apparently it's as good, if not better, than barge. And I think it's called Alpha, and it's called Fix-A-Trick, I think. But I will find it and put a link down below. But I need to get some.
Fix-A-Fix?
So, no, another model maker buddy mentioned that it's from Alpha. I think it's called Fix. I don't know. I'm confused. But he mentioned that one as well. He said he used to use that during his model making years. But I'll find the link and I will share it. But yeah, I need to try it out. But apparently it's only like £15 for a tin, so it's not too bad, like a decent sized tin, not like a tiny little one. So I'll give that a go and let you know how it goes on.
Well, I've had no problems with the impact cement so far. I mean, it's basically just is barge anything specific, or is it just a brand? Because a contact cement is a contact cement. It's a brand,
but it's used primarily for making shoes. So this stuff really does stick like shit. It's incredibly strong. I've had no problems with impact stuff, but when it comes to the likes of making armor and stuff like that, if you're going to have any sort of tear possibilities, I think it's not as strong. Whereas this barge stuff, you know, if you put a sole in a shoe, you're going to need something really, really special to hold that on. So apparently this stuff is just as good, but who knows? Who knows? We'll give it a go and see what happens. Right, where were we? So yeah, we answered that question. We've got some more questions coming in. So we've got a question from, I think it's, I'm going to say Sui. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. And what is the most difficult project you guys have done? Oh, it's SARS. Finally managed to watch. It's my friend SARS, who's got a weird anime username. So the most difficult project that you've ever done, Martyn?
The grenade. Yeah, as I've said before already. Yours?
Did you have a time scale on that, or it was just kind of like, I'll make it, just leave me alone and let me do it?
Yeah, pretty much. It was a year in the making, so it was bit by bit. Lunchtimes at work. They've got a metal lathe at work, so I could do some parts on there. But it was just half hour here, half hour there. Weekends. It was fairly relaxed. So yeah. Nothing stressful.
Excellent. But you got it done in time for the game coming out, didn't you?
Just, yeah. I took it up to London for the launch of the game, handed it over to him.
Brilliant.
They still haven't got it yet because getting it out of the country has just proved impossible. Have you ever tried posting a grenade?
I've posted a lot of weird things in the last 3 years, but no, I've never posted a grenade.
No, the post office aren't particularly happy with anything weapon-shaped based at all. A gun, knife, even if it's plastic, they're just kind of like, no thanks, we don't want that. So obviously with all the terrorism things that have been going on recently, you can understand why, but it's still a massive pain in the ass. And with the grenade being metal and wood, as soon as they sent it through the X-ray scanners, just
It has come back to you, yeah.
no, I took it up and handed it to the Rue from Ready at Dawn and handed it over personally. They took it and gave it to Sony. Sony have been holding on to it in their offices. They think there's now a way to get it over. Hello, Pussycat. They're hoping that they've found a way to get it over to LA now. Hello, what's the cat called?
This is Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
Charlie, I'm surprised she's only just appeared now. She's very shy. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like a total nightmare. Have they tried like bringing it on as carry-on luggage or something like that?
That'd be even worse.
No. Well, if you put it in your suitcase,
yeah.
I think you might be all right with it. But yeah, it's not the easiest one to bring over, you know, because it is like it's not like a space gun or something fanciful or futuristic looking. It looks like a genuine
grenade. Yeah.
Grenade that could blow up. So yeah, that could be interesting. So well, at least not your problem.
No, but I technically haven't been paid yet either. So
right, okay.
They're not going to pay. They can't release the cash until they've actually got the grenade over there. So it's in limbo at the moment.
Wow. Oh, that sucks.
Normally, I would get the money back for a prop, they get it fully paid before I would post it out. But being the video game company, I trusted them to pay up in the end. So
yeah, of course. Oh well, I hope it makes it over there then.
So do I.
You need your money, don't you? After all that hard work.
I just don't want it to be destroyed more than anything else. I don't want it on the pile and blown up with some other suspicious packages.
That always run the risks. I generally send stuff by courier. But some stuff I do send Royal Mail, and touch wood, nothing has been destroyed. Not many things do get lost, but it's always a risk, you know. But I tend to always spend the money on insurance just in case, especially when it goes up to like a couple of $100 or over. It just makes sense. You never know what the postman's going to be, what mood he's going to be in, and he starts kicking your box around.
I had a flintlock pistol I did sent to Italy, and that just got lost completely in the post.
Completely gone.
Yeah, which I've heard tales of Russia and Italy, the postal service being a little bit kind of, I don't want to say anything negative here online, but basically there's people there, they're passing it through the X-ray machine. If they think, oh, that looks interesting, oh, look, it's an iPad, or look, that looks they open it, they take it, and it's gone. So
yeah, no, I'd never send a finished piece. I'd make sure that was sent by a courier, and there was a precise timeline, and I knew exactly when it was going to get there, and there was a signature and everything involved. Because yeah, the post office, too many hands, too many people, or having a look at the X-ray screen. Excellent. I think we kind of tangented a bit there, didn't we? Well, with the difficult projects. So yeah, difficult project and difficult to get the money for it as well. My one, I think, would have to be probably the Daft Punk helmets, just because they've been going on so long. Nothing has been particularly difficult. There's always been challenges that have presented themselves, you know. But there's the Daft Punk to reach my goal of completing every Daft Punk helmet that has been in existence is proven difficult, because entering into new technologies like Arduino and LEDs and programming electronics, all that sort of stuff. So that's a bit of a nightmare, and I've had to get a lot of help with that. But nothing else has been super difficult as long as I've got enough time. I think deadlines make it more difficult. You know, it's like you know what work needs to be done, but you don't have enough time to do it comfortably. That's what tends
in advance. Do you have like a timeline that you work to try and get things done at a certain point along the build and stick to it?
I try to. I always know that things are going to take longer than I would like them to take. That is always so. I always try and plan ahead. I don't like working to super tight deadlines. I prefer not to, because I have a business to run, and although I might be working on one particular prop, there's a lot has to go on in the background. To make sure that I can continue, you know, renting a premises, you know, shipping out orders, social networking, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot that goes on, not just the 4 or 5 hours I might spend building the prop. So if one thing falls out of line, you quite often get delayed getting to the workshop. You might not get to spend as long working on that prop. So I don't like to be like, I know I could do something in 3 weeks, but I would very, very rarely say, right, I'll have it to you in 3 weeks. Because if something gets in the way, if I get sick, blah blah blah, you know, there could be delays. So I tend to try and give as long as a timeline as possible, not like years, but for a helmet, I'd sort of say, you know, 3 to 6 months, just to give me enough time. Considering a molding process can take from getting the master ready to actually taking a cast can take the best part of a week just with timing, you know. The various stages, so you don't want to limit yourself too much because then it just causes chaos, you know. So I try not to be over ambitious with my timeline. So 3 to 6 months for an average size piece helmet sort of thing is usual. But yeah, well, hopefully there's no more drama in the future. So who was that? That was SARS. Thanks for that, SARS. Got some. They're all coming in now, dude. People are watching and interested in us. Hey, who would have thunk it? So this is from Sophia. Sophia is asking, would you consider having weekend workshop classes? And she currently has access to a water jet cutter, and it has a 2 meter by 3 meter work area. Just need to know how to use it. So
hi, Sophia.
Sophia is asking us a very nice question, and then also making us super jealous as well.
Yes, we'd love to come and visit and get stuff cut on it all the time. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm assuming she's near me, and she's asking for, well, I don't know, maybe she's near you, weekend workshop classes. Is that something you'd ever consider doing, teaching classes?
I don't, yeah, I suppose. I've never really considered myself to have enough skills to kind of pass on. I've been feeling my way through it for the last couple of years, and I'm constantly learning from you, from all the other prop makers out there. Every time somebody builds something, I'm kind of like taking a real interest in what they're doing and how they're making it and how bits fit together. So I guess I could do courses, yeah, but I think there are other people out there doing things better than me that you'd probably be able to learn more from on YouTube than anything else.
Do you not get, do you have like buddies that are interested in this sort of thing that'll just like Facebook you going, how do you make this? How do you do helmets? You're just kind of like,
yeah, I mean, people are always kind of asking for advice, and I'm really happy to give advice on my Facebook page. People are asking questions all the time that they don't want to commission me to do something, but they just want to pick my brains, and I'm happy to share information like that. That's no problem.
Excellent, excellent. It's something that I've considered as teaching classes. I'm trying to do it a lot more, because like you said, like I've been doing this professionally now for 3 years, and I've learned, just like you have, from what other people have done. There's a few things along the way that I've kind of, you know, developed myself, techniques and tricks and stuff, but most of it is learned from blogs, YouTubes, watching other people build stuff, and then just maybe, you know, changing it up and manipulate it a bit to suit your needs. But people are very, very keen to get, you know, that knowledge, and some people are dedicated where they can spend hours researching and going through the RPF, which has just got so much information. But some people need a little bit more spoon-fed, you know, so that's why I'm trying to make the videos, that's why I'm trying to write the book, that people can actually have information in one spot. But Sophia, I would love to do weekend workshop classes. The trouble that I'm running into is the old health and safety issue. So it's something that I'm trying to work around, is being able to have a number of people in a workshop that has lots of big machines that can kill you. So it's not often ideal, but it's something I would definitely consider in the future. If you are local to the Glasgow area, did you see about my latest venture, Cos-Con? Martyn, have you noticed that?
I have, yes.
So Cos-Con is basically, we're working towards hosting cosplay-orientated, cosplay-focused events to culminate in a cosplay convention, which is Cos-Con. But a part of that, we want to do workshops and groups. So I would recommend that through my page, you can find the Cos-Con page, and hopefully we'll be getting some sort of free beginners, how to cosplay, how to prop make sort of stuff on the go. So that might be interesting. And also send me a message about your water cut, your jet cutter. I want to play with that because they're fun. Because if you've seen them, Martyn, they can like cut through like, you know, like 6 inches of steel.
Yeah.
But they can also cut foam. It's amazing. We had some profiles cut out of some foam for one of the companies I was with, and it just cuts this perfect profile out, and it like costs the same as cutting steel. but it would cut foam. Like they had like 3 or 4 foot of foam just cut straight through, absolutely perfect. The only problem is the foam gets wet, so you have to let it dry out for a couple of days.
Right, so you can't glue it straight away then.
You can't glue it straight away. They glued it before and it cut straight through. So I think it was like about maybe 2 or 3 foot of foam, and this perfect profile was cut out of it. No problem. It took like half an hour less. But yeah, 3 or 4 days drying in the sun. What little sun we get here. So excellent. Thanks for that, Sophia. And we've got one more. This is from Sarah. Hi, Sarah. What is your most memorable moment as a prop builder / prop maker? So I suppose this is in general to making stuff, not necessarily prop stuff.
For me, probably, I think right at the start when I decided I wanted to do this, and I kind of got all my Facebook page set up, the Twitter, had some cards printed up. Once I actually realised I was doing this seriously, I think that was quite a good moment for me. It was the realisation that this is actually possible. It's not just like a pipe dream. You know, other people are doing it. You're doing it. And whilst I'm not making enough to pay the bills yet, it's kind of creeping up bit by bit towards it. So that probably that first moment was memorable for me.
When it actually became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Kind of similar to you. When I was down in London last year for MCM in October time, and I was spotted in London, and it's like I know I was at the convention, but I did get the "oh my god, you're Sorenzo" off the internet, which was absolutely. I've had that sort of up here. I had it in Colin, Edinburgh, which is quite cool. There's a guy named Colin who's a good friend now, and he's like, "Oh, you're Sorenzo!" And I was kind of like, "Whoa, who's this guy?" It was quite surreal. But to get that like all the way down in London, and the girl who spotted me was actually from Trinidad and Tobago, which was even stranger.
I don't even know where that is.
I know it's a long way away from London, but I was a long way away from Glasgow. But that was quite nice. So again, that was kind of making it a little bit more real. That although it's just me in my workshop in Glasgow making space cons and robot helmets and stuff, people around the world are paying attention to what's going on, and appreciate what we're doing for some reason. So,
yeah, it's always nice when you've got somebody. I mean, first people logging onto my page were friends and family, but when you get somebody and you sort of check out where they are and you think, oh my god, they're in Australia, they're in Minnesota, they're in Canada, and you realise then, obviously the power of the internet, but you've got people, like you said, you've got people worldwide that are just logging in and checking out.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it in the last show with Alistair. I shipped a space gun to Guam.
Where?
Guam.
No.
I think that's how you pronounce it. But it said his address said the US, United States. So I was like, okay, space gun. It was like 75 quid for the space gun, and I did an offer. It was a free shipping offer, so I was like, okay, space gun to the States going to cost like 20 quid. So I made a bit of money on it, not too bad. Went to put in the postcode for Guam, which is GU. And I was like, there's no GU in the States. There's Georgia, and that's it. There's no GU. Where is that? Google. Guam is like a tiny little island that's like 2/3 of the way to Japan. And I was just like, oh, no way. Go to the post office. No, they won't deliver there. Go to the courier. He's like, yeah, no problem, but it's going to cost you like 35 quid. And I was like, you know what? Send it. This guy's awesome. I'm going to make a post of it. It's not the furthest my work has traveled, but it's definitely the most remote. So it's really nice to know that one of my Mass Effect guns are floating around in Guam somewhere, hopefully making some guy really, really happy. So, Martyn, believe it or not, that's the hour up.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crazy, isn't it? We were just getting going, and we managed to answer all the questions. I'm just going to check one thing, because I think somebody may have asked a question via email.
Okay.
Let's just have a look here. Right, yes, Alvin has been asking questions here on email. He's got quite a few, and I've not noticed them. So he's got one question for you, so I'm going to get this done before we go.
Okay.
Question for Martyn. Did you get the actual model dimensions for the grenade from the game makers, or did you just draw it all out by hand? Or did you use any software to make templates? So what do you make your plans?
I took the concept drawings that were online, released long before the game was out. I used Inkscape to draw outlines. Ready at Dawn did provide me with like a 3D model printout which had measurements on it. So I basically then scaled my line drawings up to match, to make sure everything was in the dimensions of the game. But yeah, that was it. I had to work from kind of like just 2D drawings and stuff.
Excellent, excellent. You use the Inkscape program, yeah?
Yes, really handy.
How do you find it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the fact that it's vector based is the best thing. So you can scale everything up and down and still print out pin sharp. So that's the best thing for it.
Yeah, because I use Illustrator and I came across Inkscape, but it seems like I'd have to learn another program. So I'm just going to stick with using Illustrator poorly. But I can do it. But yeah, Alvin, you seem to have asked quite a few questions there. I'm sorry that we're not going to have time to answer them all. I just noticed that you've had 3 or 4 questions at least. But I hope that question made sense. Sorry, I've got cat hairs all over me now. So where do we find out about Landstalker Props? So this is your time to plug yourself. So where on the internet do we find you?
Facebook at the moment is the best place, which is facebook.com/Landstalker Props. I am on the RPF as Landstalker Prop because they couldn't fit enough letters in to get the S. I have a YouTube channel. Nothing's on there yet, but I plan on documenting the workshop build and putting on there, so that could be worth looking out for. Again, that's Landstalker Props. Not got a website yet. That's going to be the next thing, and that's a store.
I know a guy who could make you one in like 2 hours if you want.
Is he going to look as shit as the one you put up earlier?
You mean it's awesome? It won't be as awesome.
Yes.
I can't have your website as awesome as mine, of course.
No, of course not. No.
Excellent. So yeah, Landstalker Props. I'm pretty sure if you put that in Google, the first 4 or 5 will be you. Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Hope so. Excellent. So I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight to talk to myself and Martyn. There was about 6 or 7 of you, which is nice. If you are watching on YouTube, there's going to be loads of links down the bottom to all the stuff we talked about. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, Sorenzo Props. More importantly, don't forget to subscribe so we can do more videos. I'm hoping this could be a weekly thing, Martyn. What do you reckon? We could just sit with my cat and talk crap?
What, me and you?
Well, maybe not me and you. We might run out of things to talk about. But there's no reason why we couldn't have you back on again in the future. I know
go for it.
You've got a new interesting build coming along from the order as well, so we're looking forward to seeing that happening.
Yes, they are.
When you reach a critical point when you've got something to show, we might get you back on again.
Cool. And you are going to be down in Bath at some point in the future?
I will, yeah. One of my best friends lives down there, and I was down in January, and I never realised that that's where you were. So the next time I am down, we will definitely hook up for that cider.
We will have, well, I'll have a beer, but yes.
Fair enough. I might have 2. Excellent. Well, thanks very much. I'm not sure what happens now. I think you might get cut off, but I'm going to press the stop button and see what happens.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. So we'll talk again soon.
No problem. Cheers. Bye-bye, guys.
See ya.